Welcome back to a new edition of Pampered Chef's brand new Deluxe air fryer and oven. This tutorial is going to give you all kinds of helpful information on being able to use your air fryer and oven from the very first day that you get it. I know you're excited and so am I, so let's dive in. First and foremost, you can leave it plugged in. The old air fryer you could not leave plugged in, but this one you can. And all you need to do to turn it on is press this button right here, and you're gonna see some words go across that say, let's get cooking. So you're ready to go. The top feature is more of a toaster oven. There's so many incredible things that you can do with the top feature. I'm gonna tell you all of the different features, and then we're gonna go ahead and show you how to do that. So when you do the top feature, there's a button right here that says top. You just press that button and then all of these lights will come on, which tells you exactly what you are going to select. So first and foremost, there's custom. So if you want to set it at 322 degrees for 18 minutes, you can do that. If you want to do it for, 400 degrees or 300 degrees or whatever you decide to do, that is something for you. And that custom setting is a little bit when you get more comfortable. But the preset settings are better for you because then you know that Pampered Chef has done their research, done their homework, and they're going to tell you exactly what needs to be done for these features. And let me tell you what they are. There's a toast feature. So on the toast feature, you can not only select how dark you want it, but you can tell it how many slices you have in there. You also have a bagel feature, and bagels obviously are a little denser, so they're gonna cook a little different, and so that's why they separated that from the toasting feature. You have a pizza setting. I can do a 12-inch pizza inside of here. Super easy to do. You have the bake setting, so I can bake brownies, I can bake cookies, I can do all kinds of stuff in here, and I can do that on a stone or I can do it on a pan, depending on what I am making. It also has a stone bake feature. So there is an accessory that is a stone, and I'll show that to you in a little while. And the stone bake feature is fantastic for preheating that stone. So if you wanted to do your pizza, you could actually preheat the pizza stone so that your pizza gets nice and crispy underneath. And then of course, there's a broil feature. So if you don't want to have to put something in your oven and keep the door closed and worry about that, this is going to take care of that for you. And then finally, there's a reheat setting. So if you've run to Chick-fil-A and you've picked up stuff and it's a little too far down the road and you've got extra French fries and you want to reheat those, this is going to do that. If you've gone out to dinner the night before and you have, extra things that you want to heat up, you can do that in here. And the reheat setting is only for about 5 minutes. It goes really, really quickly and it focuses on heating from the inside out. So that's fantastic as well. All right, so that's the top feature. We're gonna also talk to you a little bit about the accessories and so forth. So let's get into that. Okay, we're back with accessories, and it's gonna be super easy to show you all of the things that come with the Deluxe air fryer and oven because most of them are already inside. So if you are looking to open the doors of the air fryer and oven, there's a little notch right here. I can open the top portion just like that, super quick, and I can do the same thing with the bottom. But if I want to get in here, I want to go ahead and pull this all the way open. You are gonna need to give yourself 6 inches of clearance all the way around. That is for safety. You don't want something too tight. You don't wanna put it somewhere where there's a cabinet right there. It needs to breathe, so you want to let it do so. When it comes in, it comes with a couple of preset features. So this rack right here is one of them. This is what I use mostly for toasting. I will put things on here really, really easily. It's dishwasher safe. You can easily put it in your dishwasher and not have to worry about it. It also does come with a drip tray, and there are 2 of them. This drip tray is something where I tell people if you are gonna drip things on here that are oily and sticky, you're not gonna wanna put it on a rack. You're gonna want to make sure that you put it inside of a container, and I'll show you those that we have in a few minutes. When you put this in, the little lip right here where you grab it actually goes upwards. So that would be the easiest way for you to tell. It's the piece that comes right here that you can grab onto and pull it right back out. The bottom drip tray has to have the door all the way open in order to be able to pull it out. Now, if I want to pull out the drip tray for the top, it will actually come out for me while this is here. It's not as easy, but it can come out. But I am unable to pull out the bottom drip tray with this door because of the way that it is curved right here. So if I want the bottom drip tray to come out, I have to open it and then pull it all the way out this way. So the drip tray is going to get dirty. It just is. So please note that, look at mine. Mine's got a little bit of well-loved on it. And so I just want you to know that if you are using the drip tray, it is definitely going to get a little bit of color and stuff on it. At some point, I assume that we will get the replacement parts for the drip tray. And when that happens, I will let you know. So it also comes with not one, but 2 racks. These racks are huge, you guys. Look how big that is. It is almost double the size of our old air fryer, and you can put so much on it. Also, if you can look at the rack, there's an actual lip right here, which means things aren't gonna go flying off of it. So when you put it on, you wanna make sure, like, see how the indentation goes the opposite direction? You wanna make sure that the part of the lip that is sticking up goes on the top part of it. Also, there are 2 of them. So I can actually do 1 or 2 racks. Now, if I'm gonna do something that's really messy, a whole chicken or something that is like potatoes with oil and stuff on it, I'm not just gonna stick it on this rack. This rack is for things like chicken fingers, or if I'm doing something that doesn't have a lot of drip to it. So if I'm doing croutons, or if I'm doing a pizza or something like that, I can do this. If it's got a lot of drip to it, it's gonna get on this drip tray, and when the oil gets on that drip tray, it gets a little sticky. So sometimes I'll put it inside of an actual container, and I'll show you, like I said, what those are. So these all come with the air fryer. Super easy to put in. I just have to make sure I get it to the right, there you go. 1 and 2. And so I'm gonna go ahead and also show you that there's one more piece that actually comes with the air fryer, and it is this tray right here. It's got a small, tiny little lip on it, so it's not very big, but this is where I put my roast potatoes. Sometimes if I'm doing something that's got like a little bit of sauce on it. I did a pork tenderloin in this the other day. Super easy, and it's a nice cleanup. It does very, very well, just cleaning everything up. It's got a very non-stick surface to it. So those are the accessories that come with the air fryer. Let's get into what comes if you purchase it as an additional accessory. Okay, the additional accessories are amazing, and they are so helpful to have for the air fryer, and let me show them to you. First and foremost, I think everybody knows our brownie pan, but if you wanted to do 6 wells of brownies, you could easily do that with the small brownie pan. This whole set that is right here is our bakeware set, and it goes with the Deluxe air fryer and oven. You can purchase these items individually if you'd like to, but you can actually buy them as a set as well. Fantastic, highly recommend. Super non-stick, just like our other ones. Put a little bit of butter or a little bit of oil in the bottom of these. But if I wanted to do 6 egg bites or 6 hash brown casseroles or 6 meatloafs, I can do that with this pan, and it goes right inside. And what you would do is you can take it, and it needs to be on some sort of rack. So you can't just set it in there. So as you can see, I've got the rack here for the toaster. I can put it right on top of here, push it right in, and it's good to go, or I can put it in the bottom. So super easy to do. It also has this amazing square 8x8 pan. And again, you can see it's about 2 inches high. And this is something that I would put a whole chicken in so that all the juices can go in here, because you don't want those juices to go anywhere. You want those juices to stay here so that you can use them for gravy later. So that's exactly what I would do here. Again, a pork tenderloin in here, any sort of thing that you're making in here that's got some sort of drippy to it, this is the pan. I've used it so much, and it is just fantastic. And as you can see, I've used it a ton, but it cleans up beautifully. And then finally, there's a pan that's very similar to the black pan I showed you, and this is just kind of a thing where you could do cookies, or you can do a pizza, or you can do anything like that. This is a great little pan, very thin, nice little lip on it, perfect as an accessory. Now there are some other accessories that we can easily show you as well, so let me grab those. And there are 2 of them that I would recommend highly. One of them is our pizza pan, and the pizza pan see how the air is underneath it so that your pizza is going to get nice and crispy. But what I love about this is there's this great lip here. So this is the way that you would set it into the air fryer, and it's a way you can pull it out. So when you go to pull it out, you're not going to get your hands on your pizza because there's an area where you can actually pull it, because the circumference of the pizza actually goes where the holes are. So this is a great little pan. Anything you want to get a little air underneath, get something crispy, this is what you want. And then finally, we actually have a stone pan, and obviously our stones get nice and brown and golden. I've made pizza on this. It's got this lip on the back. The lip goes towards the back of the air fryer so that you don't have to worry about things coming off the back of it. And then when you grab it, you can just pull it this way. So I usually use the lip towards the back of the air fryer. Some people do it towards the front, but I don't like it to slide back, so that's how I put mine towards the back. It's really, truly just your preference. It's a regular stone. It is just amazing. It is not dishwasher safe. So our other Stone Fusion is dishwasher safe. This one is not. Usually you can tell because there's a pattern on the back of the stone that shows you that that is a dishwasher safe pan. I don't really wash my stones in the dishwasher. I actually clean mine, but some people love the new Stone Fusion and the fact that you can clean it up that way. So this pizza on here, anything that you want crispy. I've done cookies on here. It comes beautifully. And with that stone bake feature that I mentioned before, this is really awesome because you can preheat this stone, then stick your pizza on top of it, get that nice crispy crust. All right, there's a couple of small things also accessory-wise that I like to mention. One of these is this. These are our cleaning brushes. The dual-sided cleaning brush has this little thing right here, and when I am cleaning things like the door, I want to get in here, I want to get around the edges, I want to pull stuff out. This thing right here is going to do it, and then of course the brush is going to get all those crumbs up and get everything out of here. So just fantastic, and I highly recommend having at least one of these for your Deluxe air fryer and oven. And then finally, our oven gloves. If you don't have these, getting into the Deluxe air fryer and oven is not as easy with the silicone ones because it's hot. It's a metal on the outside, it's metal on the inside. It gets really warm, and so these gloves are just fantastic. And by the way, I gave them a good wash and they shrunk up just a little bit, but they can. So if you're somebody who has bigger hands, don't dry them. But if you're somebody who has smaller hands, these are great. And so right here, you can see that there's a piece that's going to protect you. So when you go in there and you go to grab something that's nice and hot, you can use these gloves, and they're great. And they go, like I said, all the way up your arm so that when you're getting inside of here and I want to reach in here and grab something, I can pull it out and I don't have to worry about burning myself. So these oven gloves are fantastic, and those are extras that you would purchase in addition. And I always tell people, host your own show, get those things for 50% off. All the accessories are great that way. All right, let's talk about the bottom features. Hang on. Okay, so the bottom, actually, when you press the Let's Get Cooking, is gonna default to the bottom because it's gonna assume that you wanna use the air fryer setting on here. So you don't have to worry about pressing bottom, but if you had pressed top, there is a bottom button as well, so you can vacillate between the two of those. I'm going to read to you the different options that you can use because I think that all of the different options, again, Pampered Chef has really thought these things out. So for example, there's a custom setting. So again, you can make it anything you want. There is an air fry setting. There is a convect bake setting. So convection is heating the entire oven by fan, and the fan for this one is actually on the side, not at the top like we had before. So the convect bake is, if you're baking something and you want to do convection, that's a great way to do so. If you want to do a roast, you can do that. You can roast vegetables, you can roast meat, all kinds of stuff in here. There's a reheat setting here as well. There's a keep warm setting, which is fantastic for when you've got the holidays going on, you need to keep those potatoes warm, or if you need to do something like, warm up your bread or that kind of stuff, or just keep something at an even temperature, this is what you're gonna do for that. Dehydrate, of course, is one of my favorites. You cut your tomatoes in half, cover them in a little oil, put them in a pan because they've got oil on them, and you can do sun-dried tomatoes. I've done some, pineapple, dehydrated pineapple in here, just delicious, really, really great, and you can set it for as long as you need to. And then also there's a heat and crisp setting, and the heat and crisp setting is actually quite interesting. The heat is for things like casserole. So you've got a casserole, you've assembled the whole thing, and it is something that is already pre-cooked. The meat's cooked, the onions are cooked, everything's assembled, but you still need to warm it through. You heat it in here, and the last few minutes, it crisps everything on the top. So it will kick up the heat and it will go really, really hot. So the heat and crisp is more for kind of those casserole things that you really need to warm through, and then you want to get that nice crispy crust on the top of it. So those are all the great things. There's also a fan setting here, and the fan setting's awesome because you can actually change it. If I push the fan right here, it can actually tell me high or low. So if I'm doing something like croutons, the fan over here gets quite warm, and so anything that is on this side next to the fan is going to get a little crispy. So I'll do a lower fan setting just so that things don't get too crispy, and that way I can do that. Sometimes I'll rotate things in here, and if I want to, I'll use a pan and I'll push just a little bit, give it like an inch depth on either side so that the fan's not right up against my things that are delicate. And again, that's for like doing bread, doing croutons, all that kind of stuff. You're doing potatoes, it's not going to be that big of a deal. Everything's going to get nice and crispy, and you are going to rotate it at least once because it will tell you to flip your food, and that's when you want to kind of rotate it so that the other side is getting the even. It's going to be warm all the way across, it's going to be crispy across, but you want to make sure that it gets an even cook for it, and that's what's going to do it for you. Finally, there is an amazing feature that I love, and it is called the sync feature. So right here, the red X cancels anything that I'm doing. But if I want to hit the sync button right here, the sync button is going to allow me to use the top and the bottom at the exact same time. So let's go ahead and just do it. So if I'm doing air fry and I want to press the button for air fry, and you depress the button when you're wanting to say that's what I want. So you can see here it's 400 degrees for 25 minutes. That's the default for air fry. If I want to change it, all I have to do is hit the temperature button, and the temperature button will start to flash, and then I can use the dial to say, no, I actually want it at 350, and so I'll put it down at 350, and I'll push the button to say, that's what I want, and now I really only want it for about 20 minutes, so I'll do it down to 20, and then I'll push the button and say, that's what I want there. So now that's locked in. Now it's starting to flash up here because it's saying, now what do you want on the top? Well, I want to do a pizza at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and get to the pizza setting, and I'm going to hit it right there. It's going to give me 425 degrees for 11 minutes. If I decide I want to change it, I just hit the temperature button. Say maybe my pizza is only 400 degrees, but say it's actually for 15 minutes. Then I'm here. So what I'm going to do is hit start, and it's going to preheat my bottom for me. Whenever you do this, this air fryer does preheat. So I can go ahead and let it preheat maybe 5 minutes at the most. So if I'm putting everything together and assembling it, that's what I want to do. I can bypass the preheat by pressing this button right here. When I do that, this will start automatically. It's still going to continue to get to the temperature I need it to, but if I needed to put something in there pretty quickly and it didn't really matter if it was right at temperature right away, I could do that. But right now I'm letting it preheat. Once it preheats, it's going to tell me I'm good to go. Add your food. It's going to say add food. When I add my food, I'm going to press the button, so that's going to start the timer. When I've done that, everything up here says hold, because I am waiting, because this is less minutes than this one is, so I'm waiting for this one to kick in and hit the same time. Once it gets to the same time, it is going to turn this one on and get going. Now, the thing I like to tell people is this. If you're doing something delicate in the top, it can't help but have the heat rise. The heat will rise, there's nothing you can do about it, and so you'll need to hold off on putting your item in until it's time to do so. So cookies or something that's like a salmon and you want to make sure it's all perfect, you can go ahead and just wait and do that. However, if you have something like hearty potatoes or chicken or things like that, go ahead and stick it in here. That little bit of heat is not going to ruin your food, and you can stick it in here, and then you can walk away because everything is going to do exactly what you need it to, and it will be finished. Let's talk to you about some of the other features in just a second. Okay, so finally, there's some other things that I think are neat features about the Deluxe air fryer and oven that I think that you would want to know about. For example, the add time feature. So for example, if I was doing something and I was doing, say, an air fry, and I have it 400 degrees for 25 minutes, and I hit the button. Now, as I mentioned before, when you say preheat, if I hit that button, it will automatically start everything for me, so it will go. But what if I wanted to add more time? If I hit this button right here, the time thing starts flashing. It doesn't add a minute, it's allowing you to add as much time as you want by just turning the button here. So I do it, it flashes, and I can add or I can turn down and say, no, I don't need it for that long, and then I can go ahead and depress the button again. So I love that feature because it's not just adding 1 minute and you have to hit it 5 times. You can actually select exactly what you want as far as different temperatures. There's a shade select button here, so when you do the shade select, that's for the toasting and for the air frying, or for the bagels and the toasting, so that's something that you can do as well. The last minute of any cycle, the light is going to come on for the last full minute of everything, so you can watch what everything's going on. But just so you know, if you need to hit this button right here and you need to turn it on, you can easily do that as well. Finally, I want to tell you that there are so many incredible features that you can do on here that I haven't even tried yet. It is probably one of the most innovative air fryers I've ever used. It helps you to get your food in and out of the kitchen as quickly as possible, and I know you're going to absolutely love it. When you are interested in hosting your own show, you're going to get it at a minimum of 50% off, but there's always great months where you can actually get it at 60% off. So add this to your kitchen. You are going to want to have it, and if you have any further questions about things, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'd be more than happy to help you. Have a good one. A few things that I forgot to tell you is that you can use tinfoil in the new Deluxe air fryer and oven, which you couldn't use before. So if you want to wrap something, or if you need to put some tinfoil in something, you can do so. Be careful with parchment. If you have parchment and you're trying to line things at the bottom, by the way, they're redoing my kitchen floors, which is what the noise was, which is not the air fryer when it was going in the background. It is unfortunately them redoing my floors. So the bottom part of this, the drip tray, so forth, don't put parchment on it. If you get parchment near the heating element, it will catch fire. So you've got to be very careful about that. I have actually used previously, and I get them from Amazon, these air fryer liners, and I've used these before, but these are not recommended by Pampered Chef, but it is something that I have used in the air fryer for putting at the bottom of the drip tray if I'm doing something that's a little bit messy. So just so you know, tinfoil's okay. I wouldn't wrap your drip tray in tinfoil, but you can do parchment paper, but don't make sure that it's not something that's like too big. You can do like the little sheets of parchment paper, but those would go on the racks. Don't put those on the drip tray itself because you don't want it near the heating element. And those are some other top tips.